And don't forget to hit share too, John.
Oh, right, that is true. Well, greetings, everybody. I am going to whoops, what's going on here? I really whoops. Got to turn on the host tools. Well, anyway, greetings, everybody. It is the start of May. Supposedly April showers bring May flowers, but I think it's just bringing more May showers because it's raining here. So, but it's the start of May, and it's the start of some big stuff. So we got Kutztown this coming weekend, and then of course we got uh, Spring Brookline on May 16th. So those two big events should be highlighted and glowing on your calendar for because we have lots to talk about when we get the report in for the next Zoom meeting because I think we'll be talking about Kutztown. So Bob, I'm sure you'll be videoing it, and hopefully John Hagman will take lots of terrific photos for us to walk through. So
I'm hoping that a lot of people are going to come because my only I was talking to my wife about this, and my wife is usually she's been a big help when I go to these events. And the only thing we're concerned about is the price of gas being a deterrent for especially for folks that have to travel. I don't know what it is by you. A regular, I could find regular for 4.29 around here. And I filled up my 2015 Toyota Venza from a half a tank a few days ago. It was almost $40. So it was just, that's scary when you think about it. Now, I realize there's stuff going on in the world right now, but I just hope that it doesn't create too much of a deterrent for people coming out. So that's the only thing we're worried about. We're not worried about the weather. There have been times where we drove through like traffic jams and big thunderstorms. There was only one time the weather was so bad that I just didn't go. And my phone was ringing off the hook. Where are you? I needed this too, but I thought you were going to be here, kind of thing. I'm like, well, I'm at home, I'm warm, and I'm still in one piece, kind of thing. So it's weird. So I'm kind of hoping that it's going to be a good turnout. And John Hackman does a great job with his
hmm.
still shots and his videos. I'm a video spaz. I do the best I can with my Panasonic Lumix movie camera, but John just he's just out. He does an outstanding job, and
Yeah.
especially the video, he takes the stills and puts music to it. It's just a delight to watch. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, we're going to have at least lots to talk about because, I think there must be, I mean, Bob, I know you seem to be going, but who's going to Kutztown? Anyone else? Oh, of course, John. Very good. Anybody else? But, well, we'll have to get the reports in for the next meeting. You get a perspective of what you brought home, and of course, we'll go through the photos and we'll get to drool over some of the terrific restorations that we invariably see, as well as things we don't see very often. Like I've said a number of times, as soon as I get my things settled out, I've got to make it one of the upcoming years, and to meet all you guys out there. So I will do it eventually. But um, but yeah, so those are obviously the two biggest. In terms of Spring Brookline, there are still tables available. So if you're thinking about selling, come on in. Al Perkis will find you a table. Of course, you can do the tailgating option. Um, I'm hoping that we'll have maybe a hockey stick effect that people say, well, let me take a look at the weather forecast because admittedly, our Spring Brookline events, May, it's always dodgy. You just don't know what the weather's going to be. And we've generally missed, we never really had a really rainy one. We just had the ones where it's cloudy, get a little bit of spritzing and of course, anyone with some nice electronics, the tailgaters, will have to either pull up a nice canopy or they'll pull out the tarpaulin and they're kind of hiding in the tarpaulin with the tarpaulin drooped over the table so you can sneak in, take a look, and keep the stuff dry. But sometimes that does deter people, buyers, coming off the street. But hopefully Mother Nature will be good for us here. But there are tables. Come on in, come and sell. But so in terms of other announcements, let's see here. I guess I can really just rattle off a few things. I've covered the heavy duty ones. Um, but we do on May 17th have the second Flea at MIT Swap Fest. Of course, the normal MIT Electronics and Ham Radio Flea Market. And they'll be on May 17th, which is a Sunday from 9 to 2. Will we find you there, Tom?
No, I'm afraid I can't do it this time. But
Okay.
I've got pictures from the last one.
Oh, good. Um, yeah, I know I definitely cannot make it because I have a graduation to attend. So my niece is graduating from Brandeis University, so I can't miss that. Um, so anybody else have any announcements? I've covered like the key ones coming up until, towards the mid-late part of the month. Is anything else I might have missed? Oh, actually, let me just throw out there. Anyone go to NEAR-Fest? Well, no, no.
Yep,
Oh,
yeah,
hey, maybe I'll throw. When we cover that. Oh, Isaiah, you will have to hear when we do round robin. Give us both you guys give us a little bit of taste of Nearfest. I meant to ask about that. Sadly, I was just not available. I had no bandwidth to go because I was still unraveling or reassembling my life. Um,
yeah. I've got pictures of that too that for
awesome.
tonight.
Oh, awesome. Great. Thank you, Tom.
And
Um,
Russ was there with me. Did you take any pictures, Russ?
I didn't, Tom. But actually, one thing I'm hoping you took a picture of at Ross's table. I think there was a different seller. I don't think it was Ross's radio, but there's a very large green military radio. And I was wondering if you grabbed a picture of it or if you knew what it was, because I have a friend asking me about it and I couldn't remember what it was.
Which table did you say?
So it was Ross, W1 EKG, but I don't think it was his radio. But
Okay.
it was
I
right at the front, very big green thing. You couldn't miss it.
Was he over by me, and the near the food there?
No, he was down. If you started walking towards one of the barns, he was on the left, kind of across from there's a horse track or
Yeah.
practice area, whatever that is. He was, say, parallel to that.
Okay. I don't know whether I saw that or not, but green, did you say it was green?
Yeah, it was green, and it wasn't quite military green, as I recall. And I should have grabbed a picture of it, but I
Uh,
didn't. I wasn't in a picture taking that day. I was looking for stuff.
a
yeah,
man on
okay.
a mission.
Yes.
Well, I'll look, after I show mine, I'll look and see if I see anything like that. I cut down the ones I'm going to show to as small a grouping as I could.
Okay, great.
Oh, cool. Well, you know what? Actually, but since we're on the topic, I mean, Tom, do you want to kick off?
Uh,
And since we're on the Nearfest topic, or do I give you some time and roll back to you
No,
later?
no, I can do that, John. I'll run through NearFest real quick, and then I'll bring up MIT for
Yeah,
later on. So this is Tommy himself, the back of my Tahoe. I'm
nice.
I'm old enough now so that I can't really face setting up on a table. So I got everything inside the car. I've got a video screen up there that shows the video of the Enigma. I got a couple of Enigmas there and lots of signs, and that lets me, it's secure because there's a big plastic sheet over these things and I can walk around. But it's a little easier for me than trying to take stuff out of the car. Anyway, so we'll move along. And this is John Cassell. He is the current winner of chief and greatest telegraph key historian in the world. He has a great website and a lot of telegraph keys. He was selling telegraph keys at the show and very, very popular because he has a lot of old keys. And there's me and John, both of us looking a
Nice.
little bedraggled because it was raining when we came in and it was cold last that night. So we were having a good time. This is a really strange thing. It
Mm.
says Heathkit Precision BR1 AM phono. Now, What are we looking at there? Is that just somebody who took a Heathkit and put it in a console, or did it come that way? Does anybody have any idea?
I think that's a Franken radio, Tom. Someone pieced that together.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I just thought I'd get an
It's
official
cute though.
opinion.
I'm
Yeah,
glad you took a picture of it.
yeah, they didn't do a half bad job.
Pretty strange. There's a couple of
Motorola.
radios. That one on the bottom, I guess, a Motorola. Don't know if I've seen that one on
Oh,
the bottom.
Yeah,
They
that's a
look,
Motorola. There's
oh
an
yeah, it is.
RCA on top.
yeah,
I see a GE, the brown Bakelite to the
Oh
left. I'm
yeah.
trying to figure out what that military looking rig is.
that's just the signal generator.
Oh, is
Nothing,
that what that is?
yeah,
Okay.
nothing special, right? There's a better picture of it. And
Oh, okay.
what's that? An Emerson up top on
I think
top of
that's a
it?
GE.
GE.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is a
Oh,
Macintosh,
yeah.
obviously,
Oh,
and
look at the chrome on that baby, huh?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
really a
Very
nice
nice.
looking set. And it's got a price of $500 on it. And that's probably a mono tuner, isn't it?
That
Can't really
might
tell. Oh no, it
be.
says stereo on it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, so it does. Yeah.
That seems a little high for that baby, but
Well, it's
especially
got the magic name.
Yeah.
especially when you look and you see all of a sudden that it isn't alone. There's another one. And there's another one and another one. A guy had them all over this table. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
very, very strange. But they look nice, and I guess I don't know. I don't think I could sell one at that show. Sell it at Cuts Down with no problem, I'm sure.
Hmm.
There's
Yeah.
another vision of it. Yeah. I don't know what this guy is. I don't know if there's a marking on it. Maybe just a homebrew. It looks like probably a homebrew. Yeah,
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
yeah.
If it's homebrew, they did a pretty decent job.
A couple of World War II radios. The push button job is a 10-meter FM Jeep radio with crystal controlled channels from World War II. This is a funny one. This is a guy who's taken a World War II set and completely rebuilt it into a transceiver. He's got a little crystal socket on the front there, and just messed it up as much as you could possibly mess up a radio, and
Wow.
made it into a ham rig. And these things were so cheap when I was a kid. You could go down to Radio Row and buy that whole box for $2 or $3. And so it's nothing to rip out half the stuff and put in other stuff and make yourself a radio out of it. This is a strange cat. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like this guy before. It's
Oh, that's a DAC.
Yeah,
yeah.
is that European?
It's got uh, it's got a plate current meter, an SWR, modulation, and signal strength, and it's got AM upper and lower sideband, no CW, and it just a very strange looking thing. My guess is that it's a CB rig because it says channel under the main tuning there, and
Hmm. Oh
it's
yeah.
got a 2-digit display. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't follow CB stuff much, but that would be my guess. Anybody have any idea about that guy?
some of it
Yeah.
makes what you're saying, some of it makes sense, but some of it doesn't because unless that's European or something, the Good Buddy 11 meter band was usually 4 or 5 watts when they were 23 channel receivers, and I'm seeing things where it's showing plate current and all that stuff. So that's I don't know, but
It says it's a Mark X SSB radio.
Radio.
No,
yeah.
Here.
it's a
There we
radio
go.
telephone.
Well, look at it. Isaiah just threw
Oh,
something in
oh
the
yeah, upper right it says radio telephone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right. Yeah,
Okay, I missed that.
yeah. But
Okay, so you know
you
what?
could
That
call
that might be for 10 meters then.
Or you
Well,
could you can call CB rig a radio telephone, you know.
yeah,
You could
no,
call it anything.
Isaiah. It looks like Isaiah
Yeah,
found it. He's a citizen band transceiver.
yeah.
You
It
Thought
know,
I
is.
had
yeah.
thought I had a
Wow.
picture. Thought I had a picture of the back of it somewhere here, but maybe not. Anyway, it's a
And
That's
it's
yeah,
interesting.
actually made in Korea. So I actually learned that. I was wondering, it didn't sound American, but in fact, actually, I can actually, for just momentarily, um, share my, well, I have to share the screen, but if you
yeah.
click on the link, if you
I'll
click
take
the
this
link,
down.
oh,
Yeah, I'll take this down. You can show us, John.
yeah, sure. I'll quickly share. Thank you. Thank you, Isaiah. Um,
Yeah, thank you for clearing that
Oh,
up.
look at that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there you go.
yeah, so I thought it was pretty cool. Good
What
find.
a fancy CB rig.
By the
Yeah.
M.H. Scott
Made
Company.
by Scott. Holy mackerel.
But actually, it's funny. Well, they say that, but it says, they go down to these miscellaneous manufactured Korea. So I don't know whether they bought the rights.
Oh, it says, I'm looking at the part where it says RF output power,
Yeah.
AM 4 watts, and then single sideband 12 watts peak to peak, or
Yeah,
peak envelope power.
what was the limit on CB rigs? I forgot.
It used to be just 4 watts, I think, period. I
Maybe
mean,
not five.
no, well, what the first 23 channel rigs were 5 watts.
Yeah, there's the 40 channels on that
That's
too.
a 40.
Yeah. Isn't that fun?
That,
Well, it
that is
just
crazy.
That's unusual. You don't see those very often. So it's actually a good find, Tom.
these things just draw me over like a magnet. Luckily, it doesn't draw my wallet out anymore.
Well, you got the
In the
Tahoe to haul that around.
Yeah, in the old days, I probably would have taken that darn thing home. What do we got here? Somebody will recognize that.
That's a nice Philco.
Is
Yeah.
it a
That's a
Philco? Okay,
yeah, it's a Philco 37-630, I think.
nice
Hmm.
going.
Yeah, it's got the shadow meter too. I think you're right, Craig. It's got the shadow meter on top. It's a nice radio.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Very
It's a
attractive.
big
Yeah.
set. I had one like that once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
and the
looks
clock
pretty.
matches.
Yeah, it does.
Now this baby, this thing is really neat. This is a Hallicrafter's HT17,
Oh,
and that means that it's a Hallicrafter's transmitter. And it is something that I have never seen before. George LSB had seen one. This is the inside of it, and you can see it has an 807 as the output tube, what a 5U4 or something rectifier, and 6V6 driving it. And it's got plug-in coils. Can you see my cursor over
Yeah.
there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plug-in coils on the left side, and a huge, huge
Yes.
transformer
Haha.
over on the right. Just absolutely amazing. And the guy was nice enough to let me take a picture of the schematic of the thing. And it's just a simple, really simple radio. See the crystal? This was the kind of radio that us novices would use back in the 50s. And you put a crystal for the frequency you want to transmit on, and then it feeds into the 6V6 crystal oscillator and into the 807 final and out to the antenna. And it's got appropriate power supply stuff. And you might be able, doesn't even have an obvious connection for a VFO to allow you to vary the frequency, but it does come out to a pin here. So I guess you could plug a VFO in there. But it's a very unusual set. I hadn't seen one before. Did you see that one, Russ?
I, chances are I walked by it thinking it was just an S38 and just kept moving.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
but anybody would have thought it was an S38 too, right? But and the guy was absolutely desperate to sell it. And
Huh.
it's a very rare radio. And he
I've
said,
never
"Give
seen
me,
one.
Were you
give me,
desperate?
give me $10," he said. And I was smart enough to walk away and with a lot of thank yous, of course, and
I would
tell
have
a
given
bunch
him
of,
$10 for that.
yeah.
Sure, it would have been some fun.
It's a really neat radio, and I just have stopped doing things like that.
That's
Yeah,
a there's a little bit of discipline in that. That's pretty cool though.
yeah, it is. This is a couple of auto-tune military radios where all those things that you see back in there are motor driven and it tunes itself automatically. I think they were aircraft radios from the World War II, and they're made by Collins, and those are all um, permeability tuned transformers with little ferrite rods that go up and down in them when a motor drives it. So that was a very weird piece of equipment.
Interesting.
Couple of nice old guys, just absolutely covered in dirt. I don't think I've ever seen anything as dirty as those poor guys. And there are a couple of interesting sets there. What's that one in the
That
near?
There's a Westinghouse in dead center.
Yeah.
That's
the one to the right of the Westinghouse, the Greeby synchrophase.
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
sure is. You can
And
see
then
the
you've got a Philco to the left of it. I can't
yep.
tell what model that is.
Probably a
So
Model 60.
the guy just
Yeah.
wanted to get rid of these. He said, "Give me $5 or $10 for anything," and that sounded awful good too. But
Well,
You had a big vehicle.
yeah, I know.
yeah, I
What's the
know,
excuse
I
though?
know. And I suppose I could have brought it over to Brookline, and I suppose some people would have been very happy if I put it on the free table. For that
Yeah,
price, I could have done it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that except it looks a little bit haggard shape, but the Westinghouse is a neat radio because
Yeah,
that's an AM FM radio, like
Yeah.
probably about 46, 47, 48 somewhere
yeah.
around there. That's kind of a neat radio.
Another view of them. They look to be in fair condition, and this is a nice display of some old tubes. You got the
Mm.
blue one on the right, and this guy on the left looks quite old to me. I didn't bother to take a real close look at it, but maybe what do we got? Oh my! Oh, it's a resistor.
Ohmite,
Oh,
Yeah,
oh
So
my.
ballast tube. Yeah.
dummy,
that's
the
it.
dummy
It
something,
says 73 ohms on it.
Yeah,
dummy
It's a
antenna,
dummy antenna load. Yeah.
dummy antenna.
Dummy. You big dummy.
amazing.
I just usually lick my finger and just kind of.
The one to the right of that I think is a transmitter tube, and I see
Yeah,
it says JAN on the front of it.
yeah. Joint Army Navy, and I didn't bother to get the number on it, but it looks like maybe it's a 304 TL so no, no. What
It's
am I
it's in
thinking?
that family for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, right. Let's see, and nice Viking Ranger on the right, and this helicopters on the left, couple of pieces of telegraph gear, just a bunch of various kinds of radios. So that's just sort of a quick overview of what you see at NEAR-Fest, and
Dangerous.
I'll show you MIT when I come around to my turn then. So
Okay.
we'll stop sharing these and over to someone else.
No, okay. Well, maybe it makes sense, just to keep the continuity here, is let me throw it over to Russ. And Russ, how you doing? Tell us what your fest, your experience, and maybe what you came away with.
Well, I got a lot of steps in, but and came home with a full wallet. So I was kind of holding off for
Wow.
something, and yeah, it was good though. It was good weather, nice to walk around. Um, but yeah, nothing came home with me.
Oh, really? Wow. That's remarkable. But
Yes.
but that's also remarkable discipline.
Well, I'm not sure. I think if all goes well, I'll be picking up an SX28 soon, and I was kind of had that in my mind that that's coming home, and I'm already out of space. So I was really looking more for some parts if I found anything interesting, but really didn't.
Right. Oh, okay. Well, it looks like the weather cleared up enough. Just judging from the pictures, it looked like there was sun out there, so at least it was probably,
Yeah, the sun came out and it started to sort of warm up, but it was pretty chilly. Get your
yeah,
fingers out to get your wallet out, and you realize it was chilly. And
Yeah.
boy, the night before, it actually felt like it was snowing in the back of my Tahoe. Luckily, the nice thing about this show is you can plug a heater in. So I had a little electric heater in the back there, and that's good. But at the MIT show, you can't plug a heater in. You just got to sleep on the street and hope the police won't roust you out.
Well, you'll feel it when you feel the car loading up on a flatbed. I'll wake you up. Hey, this car is moving.
Yeah.
The other night I went to listen to my Mets game. They were out in Colorado playing. They got 8 inches of snow on the ground.
Wow.
So I'm
Mm.
watching a video on the web this morning. Here's a snowplow. He's pushing like this big mound of snow across the baseball field. They're going to play tonight. They had tried to clean the field.
Yeah, they got
It's
down.
really amazing because Colorado got no snow this winter. All the ski areas were
Yeah,
really hurting.
yeah.
Yep.
They've
Some
been worried.
areas got upwards of a foot and a half, 2 feet.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah, and of course they've been worried about the snowpack or lack thereof feeding, like the Colorado River and so forth, because all the downstream states are, are sweating bullets here. And so that will at least help a little bit, but they really need a lot more than that. I don't know. It's, you
We
know,
got all the people that usually go to Colorado came to Vermont this year. Very weird.
yeah, that's for sure. Wow. But okay. Well, thanks, Russ. Well, maybe well, I know I think you have a table at Brookline. Do you not? I can't remember.
I do,
I
yes.
thought so. I thought I saw you today.
Have a few things.
All right. Well, we'll definitely see you in a few weeks. That's good. That's
Absolutely.
good. Cool. Cool. But well, let's see here. Um, hey, Pear, we're gonna I think some of the people joined late and you could tell us what you've been up to, plus what you're up to now.
Well, I am sitting in a place called Human Nutrition Research Center downtown at Tufts University campus, and I am in a I'm here for 2 weeks, living here for 2 weeks, only able to eat what they feed me. I'm not able to eat anything from outside. They took me for a walk outside yesterday, but they took me so as to make sure I wouldn't pop into Dunkin' Donuts or anything like that. And I will do this again in July and one more time in August. So I will have attended 3 2-week sessions of this study. And for doing that, of course, I get fed and lodged, but I will also end up with $6,000,
Nice.
Wow.
which is
Nice.
nice change to have.
That
So
buys vintage electronics or helps your Hudson or Packard
that's
Or
right.
keeping it on the road.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, you have to make up for it. Exactly. That's the first thing you'll do when you leave the place and
Yeah. So if any of you guys think you might have the time and inclination to do something like this, I could give you a phone number to call, but an indication that would have to be done quickly because they only have a limited number of slots left to do this particular study.
All right. Well, for those of you who have a little time in your hands and want to be conducted scientific experiments upon, here's your chance. But hopefully it's not. And now, live organ transplant.
There might be a few wives who aren't tuned in right now who might be willing to volunteer their husband.
Yeah. Per, did you go willingly?
Yeah.
Yes, I actually did. No, nobody forced me to go. I've gone since 2011. I've gone to many different studies in this exact building. And so this is the first time I've lived in the building at all. All the other ones were just coming in for some kind of meeting or some kind of testing. Uh, but I feel very much at home here because of that. Therefore, when this particular study came along, which is unusual for this building, usually they don't have so many things that involve people living in participants living here. Uh, but this was offered to them as being a site for a big health study called All of Us. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that, but the the aim of All of Us is to have 1 million participants, and I think they're getting fairly close to it now. And they offer things like uh, finding out your genealogy if you're interested in that. And they took a few tests on me when I first signed up about 3 years ago, and then I didn't participate in any other of their programs except when this one came along. I was attracted by the location of the thing, so I decided to participate.
Well, that's
So
terrific. That's terrific. And you know what? I have to give a special shout out to Pear for, here's dedication. He's joining wherever he happens to be, whether it's Thailand or, or in this study, or maybe the next meeting he'll be at the top of, Mount Everest,
When you introduced him, I couldn't help in my mind. It was like, where in the world is Pear?
Pear.
We have our own Carmen San Diego here.
that's right. Last winter I signed in from Chiang Mai, and then I signed in from Bangkok as
Yeah,
well.
so that's awesome. The fact that you're that dedicated, by gosh, we appreciate it. Always good to see you, Pear. Always fun to hear
Well,
you.
you know how much I appreciate the fact that COVID got you guys to start, and you in particular, this Zoom setup. It's made so much difference to me in terms of my relationship to the club.
Yeah, I tell so many people that this is like the one good thing that came out of COVID was Zoom for being able to do things like this. Because
Yeah,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though we would see each other 2, 3 times a year, at Brookline and then at Castleton kind of thing, everybody's so busy because they're either trying to buy or trying to
yeah,
sell. There's
yeah,
no really
right.
sitting down and getting to know anybody at these
That's
events.
yeah.
true. That's really true.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest regret of this whole thing is not doing this sooner. And I have to give actually full credit to Tom because really Tom was the one that actually got this thing going. I just grabbed the baton from Tom, so actually full credit to Tom. And because he was one that convinced Phil Bruce into doing this. And then it's like, when we talked about it, amongst us, and it was like, hey, would you, because Tom is a man in high demand, so he can't so I took the baton from him, and I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. So it's been thoroughly and I'm those are kind of words we're always glad to hear because because to me I feel the same way because the meets are a hey, how are you, how are things going, what'd you come on with, when you go on and see somebody else you don't really have a long conversation because
It's
you've
true.
got plus the time, like for me I'm taking photos and the video, so it's like in fact, sometimes my conversation gets caught up in the video because someone will run into somebody, but it feels like before you know it, the people are closing up shop and ready to leave. So, it goes by quickly. So yeah, this is great. Well, we're going to keep going until you guys get sick of me. Um, so, but well, thanks, Pear. Always good to see you, and hopefully we'll see you somewhere else next time. But
Yeah.
um, uh, let's see here. Let me who I pick on next. Hey, Greg, what are you up to?
Well, I finished a radio today. I can probably show you that.
Yeah, let's see it. Let's see it.
Woo!
That's
Check it out.
always yeah, and in fact, if you have any they haven't shown us from the last meetings, throw them into the queue and show us.
Yeah, okay. Let's see.
Do you? I think. Hopefully, you have share. Okay, wanted to make sure.
There it is.
Oh, now look at this. A silver tone.
1939 model 6230.
That's a pretty, is that an Ingram cabinet?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, very pretty, very attractive.
That's a nice one.
Wood bullet knobs.
Yeah, I've never seen one of those before.
They're not that uncommon. I mean, this is a nicer one. It's got the short waistband on it.
Hmm. Plus,
Yeah.
it's got the presets.
And it's got a
Yes.
ballast tube.
Like the way the speaker area is kind of bowed outward.
Yeah.
It is. There's a
But this
flat.
must be the before.
Yeah,
This is
got to
the
be.
before. Yeah.
All right, so you got a pretty solid piece. I mean, you know, it's in
Yeah.
pretty
It
decent shape.
was pretty decent. Let me see now. I gotta share. Okay. Third share. Yep. There we go. That should be the
Whoop, didn't share yet there, Greg.
didn't share, huh? Huh. Okay. Try her again. Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Wait a minute.
We have your shutter dial.
Yeah,
That's right.
shutter dial. Okay, yeah.
That was a heck of a restoration.
Yeah.
It turned into a shutter dial.
Oh, I see what happened. Okay, never mind. Oop. Ooh. There.
Ooh,
Oh
There
my
we go.
goodness.
that's pretty.
Oh man.
Oh, I didn't realize it had a tuning eye. I didn't catch that on the before picture.
Yeah, because the lens was so yellow, they had to make a new lens for it. I mean, a dial cover for it.
Wow, what a
Wow.
neat. I didn't know that that's really, that even makes it even nicer with the tuning eye. Wow, that's nice.
I like it. I like the two-tone too. That
Yeah.
really makes it pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's really nice. And I like it because you use the same you know, the nice pinstripe to demark the inset. That's really nice.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to do that. You just mask that area off, and
Yeah. Did you keep that, or did it off to a new home?
well, I listed it. Should be uh, up on the Radio Attic page tomorrow.
Wow,
So if anybody's looking for a silver tone,
that's pretty.
that's too bad I can't advance pictures here. I gotta go back to stop share, start share, photos. One thing that's kind of unique about it is it even has the original cardboard back cover.
Oh yeah, model 6230. Very
And
nice.
it's in good shape.
Yeah, it is. I mean, all the stickers
I think-
are like perfect shape. Like no, very little fraying, just a very little bit of little fading, but that's, you know, not uncommon.
6230. Okay,
That's really nice. I love seeing all that original stickers. And you put in a you got
auxiliary
a
cord. Yeah,
oh,
just
that's
tap into the volume control and
you got a so you got Bluetooth there.
yeah, it can work with Bluetooth. I think you got to use such a little. They make these little sticks that you plug in
Right.
that transmits to your Bluetooth receiver, and then you can.
Yeah,
So you can plug directly in. So this one you could plug anything with a mic out, you can plug right in then on this one.
Anything with a headphone jack, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
cell phone.
Yeah,
CD
exactly.
Walkman. Yeah.
Oh, is a separate, so there's a phono and you just flip it to phono? Is that what you've got?
No, it's basically like in the old when you'd hook a jack in for a phonograph, like an
Got it.
RCA
It just
jack.
takes over.
It just takes over. It cuts
Got
out
it.
the RF section.
I
Yeah.
got it. I got it. Cool. That's pretty cool. I really like it.
I, I got a couple other pictures of it, but
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. We haven't seen any of your restorations recently, so we're a little bit deprived.
a little bit deprived.
Oh, wow, that's even nicer. I like that. Like,
You kind of see more how it's bowed out around the grill work.
yeah.
Now, is that just clear lacquer, or did you use some toner on the top and bottom?
That's toner, but then I use a clear enamel over the top of it just to protect it. A light spray.
Which lacquer do you use, Greg? Do you use the Mohawk stuff?
Mohawk, right?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Spray, or do you brush it?
They're aerosol cans. They're just rattle cans.
Mohawk Row.
Wow, that's really nice. Yeah. Right, so it's also interesting that you clean up the buttons. So the buttons almost look black and they now have a nice kind of tan color. That must have been really dirty.
Yeah, they were pretty dirty.
Oh, look at
Oh yeah, wow. The 29, very nice. Very nice. You
I
do.
actually made a like a wood die to make that lens to press it out.
Ah, wow.
It's not that hard to do. You just make a punch in a die out of a piece of wood just to cut a hole in the middle of it for the right shape.
Hmm.
And it saves you $20.
A nice looking dial pointer, very Art Deco with the sort of the spire look.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice clean design, I think.
Yeah, and of course Ingram cabinets always had just a nice elegant look touch to things.
One more.
Oh, thank you, Paul. It's good. Sorry I didn't get a chance to go. Oh, that's nice.
There's the eye candy.
Yeah, it's the eye
Yeah, there
candy.
you go.
See, that's a good. I love that spire dial pointer too. That's really nice.
Oh, they even have the names of the cities around the dial. That's cool.
Yeah, it's
I've
just
always liked that when they do that on the dials on a radio.
Cuba, Nicaragua, Moscow, Holland.
Name it.
That's cool. Just very attractive. I always thought the silver tones were very nicely designed, from an aesthetic standpoint. Nice looking dial faces.
That was my work for today, putting that back together.
I did a great job. Do you have any other radios you want to show there, Greg?
I think that's the only pictures I brought up on here. The other ones are on my phone, but
Oh, okay. Well, we'll
we'll
catch
save
you.
them for next time.
Yeah, be sure you do because we thoroughly enjoy seeing this stuff. This is great. All right. Well, hey, actually, before I forget, because I'm so used to him not having a microphone, Isaiah, are you in a position to talk, to tell us about NEAR-Fest or whatever you've been up to? I don't think we hear you, Isaiah. I know your mute's off because I don't see the icon.
All right, how about now?
There you go.
There.
Now we got you.
Had the wrong mic source.
No
All
problem.
right. So yeah, NEAR-Fest. So I brought Frank, KC1 VHL, and my son down to NEAR-Fest on Friday morning. And it turned out to be a pretty nice day, all things considered. It was a little chilly, but sorry, I just realized my mic got knocked out of the way. It's a bit chilly, but it turned out to be a pretty nice day. The sun came out. Um, uh, Believe it or not, I actually walked away empty-handed,
Wow.
which is very unusual. But I'm saving up to buy Steve Byon's Yaesu radio. He had it at I think it was Castleton, and it caught my eye and asked him the price, and it was a pretty reasonable. And I walked away, and it just kind of stuck in my mind. The longer I thought about it, it's like, I'm probably going to do that. So I reached out to him offline and got a hold of him, got got it secured for a good price. I'll be picking that up at Brookline. So it's probably a good thing I didn't spend too much at NEAR-Fest.
What model is it?
It was the Yaesu FT 1000 MP.
Oh boy,
So
that's a real fine DX rig.
Good
it's
radio.
that's what I understand. Yeah, yeah. Right now I'm running a Yaesu FT 847, which is good radio. I also have an ICOM IC 706 Mark II, which I plan to use for mobile work. But yeah, from what I understand, if you want, good audio, good performance, strictly on HF, the 847 is HF, VHF, UHF. But I understand the FT1000 MP is if you want something strictly for HF, that's a solid option.
Yeah,
It does have just the stock filters, from what I understand, nothing fancy, but I think it'll still outperform the 847. It's a really nice rig. So I'm saving up for that. But yeah, as for NEAR-Fest, I walked away empty-handed, but I can't say the same for my son. Of course, he used my wallet, but um, he found Lego Technic, which he enjoys. But the main takeaway, the big thing that I brought home was a large tote of HO scale model trains. Um,
Oh,
there's a very kind gentleman there, and he was very excited for my son to get that train set from him. It's a really nice collection. I'm, maybe a couple dozen pieces of rolling stock. I think three engines and a
wow.
whole bunch of tracks. So yeah, that was a good one. Then Frank, he got it was a Radio Shack 2 meter and a matching power supply for an excellent price. And he got a drill press and a couple of other odds and ends. But anyway, yeah, my son's fuse started running a little short, so I decided, all right, well, we'll head out a little bit early, and I'll just plan on coming back tomorrow or Saturday. Um, and I had a sitter for my son on Saturday, and so I got up early on Saturday, got ready to go, and then looked out the window, and it was pouring. And
mm,
I checked the forecast for New Boston, and it was also pouring, and it was not going to let up. Um, and from what I understand, I made the right decision to stay home.
Definitely. A lot of people bailed out.
Yeah, it was a little disappointing. I was really looking forward to going back and spending more time looking around, but yeah, it just didn't work out this year. But hopefully in the fall, um, I'll be able to spend a little more time there. My son will be back in school at that point, so should have a little more freedom with how long I stay.
yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
don't have much in the way of NEAR-Fest stories other than, like I said, that train set was a huge win for my son. It absolutely made his day, and he's still playing with it today.
Nice,
So
nice.
yeah, it's been several days, and he spends hours just building new layouts. So yeah,
great.
always something good at NEAR-Fest. You know even if it's small or even if you get it for somebody else. Um, it's a good time.
Great.
Definitely a trip worth making then, just for your son.
Friday, definitely. Absolutely.
All right.
And that's a strange thing about Nearfest also is that Friday's the big day, even if the weather's good, and people don't come on Saturday. I don't know why. I have no idea, but you'd think the people are out of work, they'd show up on Saturday, but Friday's the day. Same thing, interestingly enough, in Friedrichshafen in Germany. Friday's the big day, Saturday and Sunday are low.
It must be that got to get in the front of the queue to get the good stuff.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Maybe
That
that's
is
the missing.
definitely what when I first learned about Nearfest from a coworker, and he told me explicitly, come on Friday, yeah, take the day off work, come on Friday, that's when all the good stuff is out. And I think that's just the mentality with Nearfest is the first day is the day to go if you're going to
Yeah,
go. Um, Saturday, meh, hit or miss. You can go if you want to, but Friday's definitely your best bet. And I think that's just kind of the general idea that folks have.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Saturday might be for those who, go for the bargains, at the end, people who don't want to take it home, you might pick up a deal here or there, I
That's
suppose.
certainly true at NEAR-Fest. If you want to hang out that long, and if you want to take a chance, you see something you want. It's 50-50, it'll be gone by then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I did actually see it was I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was well, I know it was a Kenwood, and I'm trying to remember the model, but there's a really good price on it. Um, and it said that it was there's no low voltage supply. So either a transformer went bad or more likely the caps went bad in the power supply section. And I walked by it the first time, thought, maybe I could talk him down a little bit, get it to a price that I'd be happy to buy it for. So I figured I'd go back, I'd walk around once and come back. I never saw it again. So
Yeah,
somebody beat
that's
me
it.
to it.
I had a very good price on my Yaesu 450D, and that went real fast, $215 for a nice HF rig.
Yeah, that's a deal. This had I think it was a $75 price tag on it.
Oh, that's
And
seriously good.
I'm pretty confident I could have walked away with it for 50
Mhm.
because it was non-functional, the bad power supply.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's, only so many people that are going to want to dig into the radio to that level. But clearly somebody did, and they beat me to it. So I guess it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, I had a Segway in my trailer for sale, and people looked at it, and I told them the battery's no good. You got to put cells in the battery, and nobody was interested. But that's a fun toy.
Oh, yeah. But
Well,
that's funny. I didn't realize you had one of those, but that's one way to go zipping around the Earfest there, Tom.
Absolutely. I can't do it at my age. I can't, even though the thing balances for you, it doesn't balance well enough. I have trouble with a bike.
That's funny. Well, cool. Well, thank you, Isaiah. I'm glad you had a microphone this time.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too. Thanks for the opportunity.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Whenever you join, just let me know in the chat window whether you can talk. I'll be sure to call you.
You got it. Yeah, one of
Yeah.
these days I'm hoping to actually be able to show something. I've got a few restorations that I've done, a couple that are almost done. Right now my bench is completely cluttered. I've got a Kenwood TS430S that I'm trying to track down a PLL issue. And then I've still got that Marantz 2270. It's all functional. I just have to the speaker protection relay keeps tripping. It's got all new caps and everything, and I think it's just a bias issue, so I got to tweak that. But I'm hoping to send that back to the customer here pretty soon.
Cool, cool. Well, thanks. Let's see here. Rob, how are you?
Yeah,
How's Arizona? What's going on in Prescott?
well, it's been cool, but it's going to get hot. Uh, Phoenix is going to be 107 on Monday.
Okay. So then you
Yeah.
throw what, 15 degrees, 10, 15 degrees cooler,
And
but
we could use some of that rain. We really could. Well, anyways, all right, let me go hit share screen, right?
yeah, go ahead, man.
And you see this dial plate?
Not yet. Hasn't shared
Oh,
yet.
no. You don't see that yet?
Yeah, now we do.
There
Oh,
it is.
okay. Well, this is a radio that I got, I guess, freebie from the last antique radio show I went to in Arizona. And the interesting thing is it's a Philco 38, model 38-7. It was made in 38. And it has a feature called auto tune. So, yeah, this is just trivia, but this is what the chassis looked like. I put the wood things on it so I can flip it over and all that sort of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and it has this odd knob assembly, and the whole thing spins around. Let's see. I was looking, these contacts are non-existent, and there's a small cam in here, and this is one of those cones that it uses. And the cones go into this track. And if you see there's another track in here, and what this thing does is if you hit a cone and it aligns the tuning, because it is a cone shape, and it also unmutes it. And if you pull this knob out, it's kind of weird, but if you pull the knob out, they had some kind of a sensor in there. There was nothing in there but a broken wire. So this is like a spring-loaded contact I found, and it just senses a position of this shaft.
Okay.
Whoops. Did I click one too many? No, that's right. And then since I don't have cones, I found this on the internet, and you can see their position around the rim. And so what you do is you spin this thing around when you get to a cone or whatever, you push it down and it sets the radio to that frequency and it unmutes. It's like, I think this was only available for 2 years, which probably meant it did not do well. Here's all it does. Here's the volume control, and it says for 38.7 only, it just shorts out the volume control to ground. That's their mute.
Yeah.
Ah.
Here's a demo of. Are you getting the sound also?
Driven by renewed optimism around its AI and Foundry turnaround story.
Now, when they're tuning
posted big gains in
on the
April,
cones, I
no
believe,
effects from the Iranian.
pull this out, and it is muted.
Last month, the
Mid
best
position
in January
is muted.
2025.
And when it goes all the way in, there's a cam that actually lifts up.
Here, Michaela Schifrin. I've won the most World Cup ski races.
Now, one thing I still have to address is if you notice, there's some noise in here. There's a track. I have a photo of the wiper that's across here to ground out the volume.
Look for an investing checkup. These pros understand the market and keep up with the trends.
Okay, this is what there's a track with a wiper on it, and that's actually just ground. And from that little wiper, it goes up to that spring-loaded contact. So it can short the ground through the spring-loaded contact, or it can short the ground if you push it all the way in and there's no cone there. It mutes. Weird, just a very weird thing. I thought I'd figure it out. I've never seen it.
No, I appreciate
in
this.
an
Is fun.
attempt, in an attempt to make some cones or find something, I found this kit on Amazon, and it's what it is. It's for punks, I guess, where they make these things with the spikes all over. And it looked like these over here might fit, but I couldn't get it to function. It's still wrong, so I have a kit with nothing to do.
Well, there we go. That's
Well,
too bad.
yeah, but maybe it's a fashion statement.
Yeah, you could just go punk.
Oh, nice. Now, Rob, we got to superimpose you on there.
Yeah, I should have. I don't know how to do that. But anyways, it's just a trivia thing. I'm still working on the radio. The chassis is done, and I'm going to find cones sooner or later. Maybe I'll find a junker set somewhere, and I'm working on the console case. Just have it stripped. That's as far as I got.
That's not the radio that you took home for free, the console. Is that?
Yeah, it is.
They want to help you load into your car. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love the fact though that actually it's sort of a feature-rich radio. So it's got a kind of that neat
well, the weird thing is the dial looked weird, and you had the way it spins around and all. And that's probably what attracted me to it more than anything else.
And free will help.
Are the cones internally threaded then? Do they have a thread in them?
No. What it looks like is they're kind of like these, but you see these have a thin base. I think if the base was larger and it had a hole in the top, Philco sold a tool that would go into the cone and you could adjust it. I would think if it was a threaded shaft in the center and if
Uh-huh.
there was a bigger piece, the cam I was talking about, when you push the button in over a cone,
Uh,
this won't hit the cam at all. It would have to be a little bit bigger. And also the track depth is probably over twice this depth.
yeah,
So
okay.
this dimension was right. And I don't really know about the cone height. Certainly not the big ones. It looked like it might have worked, but no, can't get it to work. So anybody want some cones?
Or a fashion statement?
Yeah, that's what they're for. It comes with a screwdriver and a punch and all the screws to put them on a leather strap and all that. Oh well, that's about it.
Oh, that's cool. I know it was fun to see that little demo and plus some of the details. Because
It's just kind of weird, and I showed it to my wife. I said, see, this is all you got to do. And she's like, what? Ugh. Probably how the market felt about the whole thing, too.
yeah, I think it was, maybe the solution to a question no one was asking at that point.
Yeah, yeah.
And the sales showed. I'm sure that cost an extra X amount of dollars to the bottom line, and people are like, yeah, we're not paying for that.
Yeah. Well, they sell different face plates for different cities. And then you have to have a technician install the cones.
Oh, right.
It's like, yeah, really,
Right.
just to tune the radio.
Right. Well,
Well, Philco for that year console, Rob, they made three different flavors. They made a 38.3, a 38.4, and a 38.7. So there was a lot of different levels. It's like, well, do you want the Chevy Biscayne or do you want the Impala? And it just went on from there.
Yeah.
But you had to have the Philco guy, the dude, like you said, do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
they made a
you
table
could
model.
turn
and
the
side.
cones by using a tool that went through the knob. In fact, I made one out of a screwdriver. It had kind of two prongs on it. It puts that in, and you can twist the cone, kind of slide the thing around, and then tighten the cone to where you want it.
They probably did that to get around all the other patents of tuning devices, and nobody in their right mind would patent this thing, so they got away with it.
A safe bet.
That's cool, though.
That's neat.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Rob. That was cool. Let's see here. Bob, what have you been up to? We know you're getting ready for
Yeah, I've got my car mostly loaded up. I've got a few more things to throw in there and get there. Right. Well, Paul Mondock was here before and he dropped out. So since he's gone, I'm going to kind of tell on him a little bit. I have something that belongs to him. This, you guys probably would recognize this. This is a Simpson 360.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mirror dial?
I actually love this meter a lot. I have one of these of my own. When I was a kid going to school, I wanted one of these when they came out. I think it was in 75 or 6. But it was a crazy amount of money, and I had just enough money from painting barns and mowing lawns and doing odd jobs for my neighbors. I was able to acquire a 266p. But this is the one I really wanted. Now I have one. I got one at an auction a couple of years ago. This is Paul's, though. And I've actually had this sitting for a couple of years, and I forgot about it. He gave it to me. He says, here, you can have it. Don't work, whatever. So the other day I pulled this out. I said, oh, I remember this. So I pulled it apart, and now I don't have this thing. This is the adapter. You could plug this into. This is just a wall wart for the meter. So I did that, and nobody was home. No display, no nothing. So I said, well, geez, let's start doing simple things first before I, really rip into this thing. So I took a Q-tip with some D5 deoxit on there, and I went around this switch control, which is your power button. There's one position for off. There's another position if you had, I guess, NiCad batteries, you could charge the batteries. Was it DC ohms and AC? So this switch is what powers the thing up. So I said, okay, let me see if I'm getting power to the switch. I just thrown some batteries in here at the time, and I was getting a reading. So I was like, what's the deal? Why ain't it lighting up? So I said, okay, let me clean the switch with the D5 and the Q-tip, plugged it in, and the thing lit up. I couldn't believe it. Paul hasn't used this in, I'm going to guess, I'm speculating. I don't know, but it's been a number of years, so I'm not even going to throw a number on it. So I took it, I got the thing lit up. Oh, and actually I tested it for him because he told me the story with this was his brother went to use it and used it on the wrong scale or something. And he thought it just blew up and it was done. So I just kind of got lucky with it and I got it working for him. And I took a picture of this with the display lit up and I wrote in, I texted him back. I said, do you want it back? So he
What
said
is the display? What is the display, Bob? Is it
oh, I'm
Nixie's?
sorry. It's a red LED display.
That's what I thought.
It's a
Yeah.
4-digit display here. And
It almost
I
looks
also
like
love this little meter underneath it here because it just shows the swing, which you wouldn't get with an analog meter. Well, you would get it with an analog meter, but since this is digital, you don't see that. This is actually a very, very, very nice meter. I picked one up in an auction about 5 years ago. Paul was with me at that auction. I got it for $20.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good deal.
I wanted to cry because this is the one I wanted to have when I was in high school. So when I started testing all the different, I started with ohms and then AC and then DC voltage I was measuring. The DC one was a little bit weird, but then it kind of, as the more I used it, it started to swing back into shape. So I think it's accurate. I wouldn't have a problem in using this thing. So Paul's going to get it back, and now I don't know how long this thing's been dead. So I just figured I'd show you a bit about that. The other thing is that Paul sent me a text earlier tonight. One thing that Paul will never admit to you guys is that he's vice president of the Jersey Club, and he also, like a couple weeks ago, I was at the repair clinic, and we also at the same time we had a Marconi birthday ham radio event. He's 152 years old, so we had a special event station set up in our museum, and things were really going crazy. I got home that night at probably about 6:30, and I was so tired. But I was helping Paul with I don't know if you've ever seen those Webster wire recorders that spin around, and well, Paul was trying to troubleshoot that, and then I looked underneath one of the pulleys, and there was wire twisted up in both the things. So we blew it all apart, got the wire out, put it back together, and now it just needs to be tuned up. But there's a guy in our club that knows how to do the fine tuning on that. So we did the dirty work, and we're going to pass off that guy. But also, Paul came home. We have an early hi-fi setup with just a mono FM. It's a Fisher FM tuner. Okay. And he called me up and he says, man, just about all these tubes are whooped in here. I said, oh, okay, how many 12AT7s? Oh, no, I got all the tubes except for 3 of them. So here they are. I got them. So we'll get that display up and running in the museum again, probably after Kutztown. So I'll get him the tubes tomorrow. I'll probably put them in there and test the thing out. So I don't really have that much stuff going on other than, like I say, I'm just trying to get things ready for Kutztown and really looking forward to that. That's kind of the big deal for me. So I'm kind of excited. And other than that, just situation normal. My wife is actually trying to piece together she's doing some stitching of a picture of a cow. And my friend's wife has pictures of cows throughout her little room that she has to herself in her house. So she's trying to get that done so we can bring that and give that to her on Friday too. So it's been kind of chaotic here. And that's it. I mean, and then you guys will see the video, I guess, once I get the video done.
Yeah, no.
I put up a video on my channel with some of the stuff that I'm bringing, and if you haven't been there yet, you can watch that too. So I have three restored transoceanics I've done the past year that I'm bringing, because I've done a lot of them and I know them inside out, and for me they're easy. So it's just a matter of finding the right parts and making sure there's nothing broken or missing or all that. And you guys know, sure, you guys have been there, done that too. So I'll be bringing 3 of them, so you can see that in the video as well. So that's it. That's really it, John.
No, that's great. No, thanks, Bob. That's all good stuff. And looking forward to our next meeting where we'll get to hear the blow by blow from Kutztown, and hopefully the weather will be good, and we'll get to have some good stories and hopefully some good purchases. But cool.
I want to say I'm at the point now where New Jersey is grabbing me by my ankles and shaking me real hard. So for stuff to follow me home, I have to get rid of stuff first. So this is how this is how it's playing out for me.
Fair enough. That's fair.
But we'll see. I might come home with something.
Looking forward to it. You never know.
Never know.
But well, cool. Well, thanks, Bob. Let's see. So, well, speaking of Kutztown, how about John Kummer? What have you been up to? And I know that you'll be heading out there too.
Oh, definitely. Is my audio okay?
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? No, you're all right, John.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for the trip. What I'll be doing is leaving about 2 a.m. Friday morning, driving to Kutztown and getting on the line like everyone else to get in there, which they open up at 8 a.m. for vendors.
Well, actually, what they're doing is Friday they're opening up at 10 o'clock.
Well, I got a thing here. I don't
Well,
know.
I got my information from the DVHRC directly.
Well, I got.
So the last email I got from them said they're going to open at 10, but you can get there at 8 and wait in the conga line until they open.
Well, it says vendor setup starts at. This is from the Reningers. It says vendor setup starts at 8 a.m. Friday.
What was the date on that? 2024?
No, May 8th and 9th, 2026.
Okay. So you're right, and I'm wrong. Okay. I saw 10 o'clock, so I hope you're right.
Maybe unless they messed up here. I don't know. But it anyway, I don't
think it'll be a big deal. They'll let everybody in anyway.
Yeah, I wanted to tell a story. So basically what I'm going to do is leave my house at like 2 a.m., drive there, hang out. They let you in, you set up, and I'm going to spend Friday night there. I got a very cheap motel room, and I want to tell a story of something that happened to me when I was up at the New England meet in New Hampshire a number of months ago. I'm getting old, I found out. I'm 71. And over the years, like going up to the New England thing, I would drive up early in the morning and then just drive home again.
Yeah.
All right. I can't do that anymore. And I'll tell you what happened. I admit something here. Going back from the New England meet, I left like at 2 in the morning, went up there, did the meet, driving home, and I was a little tired. And I was just passed through Hartford, going south on Route 91 in the left lane, and I nodded out.
Oh,
wow.
All right, now let me tell you what happened here. All of a sudden, now the divider between north and south lanes is like 200 feet wide.
Sure.
So, but the trouble is, so all of a sudden, the car starts rumbling. It sort of wakes me up because I'm on the divider, and I could have gotten killed. I could have killed other people, and it was very scary. One of the other drivers driving there pulled over a young guy and came up to me, and I stopped the car, and he asked if I was okay, and I said okay, and he goes, "You sure? I'll call an ambulance if you want." And I was like, I was embarrassed over the whole thing, and it taught me I cannot, even though driving to Kutztown is a lot shorter than New Hampshire, I'm not going to take the chance anymore. And it's look, for the last 30 years, I've been driving to New England and coming back the same day, or Kutztown, or even when I used to go down to Maryland, but I can't do
we're
that
not
anymore.
kids anymore, John. You gotta watch yourself, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but I
glad-
could have killed people,
Yeah.
and so I just took it easy the rest of the route. I stopped every once in a while, on the way home to New York. I was thinking about taking the ferry even at Bridgeport to Long Island, but it would have taken on Sunday afternoons. It's packed, and it would have taken much longer.
Yeah.
But anyway, it just so anyway, I nowadays I do have to take it a little more easy. I'm not I'm not Superman anymore. But anyway, but I'm looking forward to Kutztown. I'm getting stuff ready, trying to pack the car up. I noticed at the last Kutztown, the amount of audio gear keeps increasing that I see. And in fact, most of what I sold last time was audio gear at Kutztown. I did have radio stuff and the books, of course. And since no one reads anymore, they're not buying books. And I did have some radio stuff. And, anyway, I'm looking forward to it because it's a good meet. I mean, it's wonderful. They fill up both pavilions. And I'm excited to be there. I've had the same spaces for forever, right down the aisle from Bob. And anyway, so that's it. The
last time I checked, that there were some empty. As of last week, there was a few empty spots not in our pavilion, but in the second pavilion.
Well,
so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of people show up with it. I see this every time. They don't have a spot. They just show up, and they give them money right there for a spot. But it's fun. I felt bad when they changed the guy who used to be next to me, Bob. You might remember him. A guy from Alabama used to drive.
Oh yeah.
He
used to show up with his wife.
Yes.
And he had a lot of nice painted radios.
Yeah, I mean, the radios were better looking than out of the factory.
This guy would take like a standard AA5 radio, and he used automotive quality paint. And these things were stunning. I mean, they were better than the paint on my car. I mean, that's how nice these things were.
Yeah. Tom Hayes.
Yes, Tom.
And he told me when he heard about them dumping Thursday, he told me I'm not coming back, and he didn't.
Oh, he told me, and he was angry about it too. He was really upset. But I don't want to really drag this out. But the thing is that there was a small to do with Rangers, who owns the property and has the parking lot and then the campies where we have our event and all this stuff. And there was a guy that ran the Kutztown radio store. He used to, before he died, he was coordinating all this stuff that went on for, I don't know how long it was, 23, 24 years until he finally passed away. And then the people that own, the Rangers people said, hey, look, and I went to DVHRC and said, look, we're a business, and, it's just, our expenses are going up now. We have to get insurance and all this stuff. So one of their things that they negotiated, now I wasn't in on the negotiation. I had nothing to do with that. But between the DVHRC officers and Rangers, they came to the conclusion they had to do away with the Thursday night campovers. They couldn't afford the insurance to have people go over there and camp. So that's when a lot of people, including the gentleman that John's talking about, they got upset, and some were really upset, including this guy. He was just, off the chart, I'm never coming back. And he kept his promise, because in the spring he wasn't there. His tables were empty.
Yeah, he just said, I've had it. I mean, he had a long drive from Alabama, and
yeah.
I mean, that's a 2-day affair,
Yeah, I can see both sides of the coin, but from a business standpoint, I understand why they had to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is going up in price, and Yeah, what are we going to do? Tell them no, and then they just say, okay, well, we're not going to let you do it anymore. No, they negotiated with DVHRC, and we still have it. It's just not what it was.
But no,
it's better than not having it all.
I mean, it is the biggest radio meet, I'll say, on the East Coast, except for the Long Island meet, which is, no, I'm kidding about that. That's a very small one. But no, I joke. The longest running meet on the East Coast, longest running monthly meet, because we meet monthly, is the Long Island meet. So anyway, that's it. Anyway, but yeah, just to let you know again, load in is at 8 o'clock Friday morning. Vendor, or they start letting people in. I mean vendors in. So that's it.
All right. Well, thanks, John. Well, the next Zoom meeting, hopefully you'll give us lots of tales of Kutztown to between you and Bob. So looking forward to it. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully you guys do well both in selling as well as acquiring. So, but anyway, great. Thanks. So let's see here. Noah, Texas, what's going on there other than warm weather? Whoop, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Yep, still muted there.
I can't lip read.
There you go.
Here we go. Just to piggyback off of John for a second, I turned 71 10 days ago, and I'm definitely feeling it as well, especially, whether it's a radio event or a car event or a model train event. It's like my range has kind of gotten shortened, but as long as we still do it, we do what we can do, or like we take the extra day, and it's like it's only money. You can't take it with you. So get a hotel room, on the way there, and get a hotel room on the way back. But then you can at least still go, and you can do it safely. So
one of the really important things is not to turn on the cruise control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Serious.
Or get one of those self-driving cars, and then
yeah.
I don't know if we're quite there yet, but so anyway, okay, so this will be sort of as usual, I guess, the oddball, and man, I hate going last year. I don't want to be a bring down to everybody here.
No, that's all right.
It's kind of a weird story. Everybody on this call probably has seen one of these and passed on it, or has seen one of these and bought it and then maybe doesn't have it anymore. But I couldn't turn down an opportunity to get a Bulova.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that is cool.
Remember
nice.
the Bulova? It's the watch clock company.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know who made the radios for them, but they're very attractive with gold and cream colored, and
I don't know who made the tube radios. I'm trying to remember who made the transistor radios from Bulova. I used to have one, and then I traded to somebody for something else. That's a really pretty looking radio.
Yeah,
like
it is.
Well, and not only the weird thing is, and to what John was saying before, I mean, this thing, everything is absolutely complete on the back, and all the stickers, and it's even got a little phono jack in it.
Oh, you can Bluetooth that really easy.
And I don't know if it's an all American 5, but it is a 5 tuber, and it's got the the 35 W4 and the 50 C5, but then the other 3 tubes are the 12 BE6 and the 12 BA6 and the 12 AV6.
That's AA5.
Yeah.
Miniature.
But the bizarre thing about this radio, I mean, it was a $10 special at the swap meet at, where it wasn't an electronics meet. It was just kind of a junk fest, but this was on the table, and it's like, I could take a fly on it for $10. It's the Bulova Fidelity precision made Model 300 table radio. And of all the radios that I still own, and of all the radios that I've ever owned, I'm thinking there's maybe something wrong with this one, or something's broken, or some component has drifted. This is the hottest, most amazing receiver I've ever owned.
Really?
It's crazy. It's almost like local stations, you almost like have to have the volume control almost all the way down. It's like too hot, and it like
Really?
it pulls in stuff from everywhere. This gets more stations than any other radio on the property. And that's without a wire or anything. That's just using it as is with there must be a loop antenna on the backside of that cardboard.
Yeah.
And it's just nuts. It's amazing how well it works and how
Did
many
you take the
stations.
back? Noah, did you take the back off of that to see just what was in there, whether it was a
No,
loop?
I haven't even done that.
I would almost, if it's as hot as you say that, maybe there's a ferrite rod in that thing.
Yeah, maybe.
It could be. I just don't know. The only thing that I could equate it to was once upon a time I was working on an RCA television, colored television. It was a CTC 25 chassis, and there was a particular tube that was in the AGC circuit, for between TV channels. If you had a strong one and a far away one, it would try to compensate. And I was very young at the time working on this thing, and I couldn't figure out what I had done wrong, because when I turned the TV set on and just even had rabbit ears, let alone the outside, it was like on all the local stations, which is what I tried, the normal ones that I watch. I was in northern Massachusetts, so I'd put on the Boston TV stations, and like every picture was like overloaded, and there was like a lot of buzz coming from the audio. It was just like the whole front end was just overloaded. I couldn't figure it out. Like, why was it this way? And then I clicked over to like channel 6, which was WPRI from Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And I was up near the New Hampshire border with like rabbit ears, and it came in perfectly. It was like, it turned out to be like a problem with the tube socket that the AGC tube was plugged into, which I can't remember whether it was like partially shorted or maybe it was open, but whatever it was, the front end was just wide open with like max gain that you could get out of this tube. And so I learned from that, and I didn't exactly fix the socket, but I did put like I don't know what, a 500K or a 1 meg pot in there, like my own little control, so that, if I turned the pot so that it was working normally, I could watch the local station. But if I wanted to tune something in from Maine or from Rhode Island, I could just crank this little knob once I got on that station. And man, it was just over amplified. And I'm wondering if there's maybe something like that going on in here, because this thing is just, there's no distortion, there's no hum, it's just super sensitive.
Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me, if that thing had a big ferrite rod in there.
Yeah.
I want to know how big.
Radio. I mean, the size, you could probably put either a big ferrite rod or a really big loop, and that might be why that AA5 is as hot.
And there's a pretty big speaker that's behind here too, so the sound is actually.
How big a speaker? It looks like
I haven't opened
huge.
it up yet, but it looks like it's at least a 5. I think it's a 6-incher.
It's good size speaker. I bet you it sounds really good.
Yeah.
Is it way back of all that tuning mechanism? The speaker.
I can't figure it out from peeking in the back. Like I said, I haven't taken the back off of it yet, but it looks like all you see here is the speaker. So I think this little tuning mechanism must be in the front of it, in the depth of the cone, But my only surprise is that since it's a Bulova, you would think they would have made it a clock radio, but it's not. It's just a radio.
That's what's funny.
Nothing to do with a clock anywhere in this case, except for the little name that says Bulova right across the top.
They used to advertise in the magazines and stuff. I heard like a radio commercial. It was made with Bulova watch precision.
Yeah, well, it's called the Bulova Fidelity Precision Made Model 300 table radio, and it's just, I don't know, it's nuts. So I thought that was it's very gold and shimmery.
It was my pillow of the 50s.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's one thing. The other thing that I came across that I'd never seen before, I actually wound up with 2 of them. So if you notice this, that's a three-prong plug,
right,
that we've all seen before.
Sure.
And then There's a
Yeah.
socket on that side.
Yeah.
There's a socket on that side.
Oh, okay.
So, it's a plug this in, and then you can plug two other things in.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. Does it have a ground fault?
No, it's got a can opener.
No, it's
it's
got this UI or this interface on the front of it where you can program the week, the day of the week, the time, and you can set it up as a timer.
Oh, okay. So it controls it's an
for
electronic
both of
timer.
these these sockets. So it'll like turn things on and off. Right? We've all had the little mechanical ones with the little plastic teeth thing that it goes around and turns on the outdoor Christmas lights or whatever. Well, this is a digital version of it.
Yeah.
That you can, and it's got two different sockets in it.
Yep.
So
no, those are cool. I could speak to. It's funny. I'll share since you're talking about this little topic is I used to have the smart plugs, right? Like the Casa, and I could set which Casa with a K is supposed to be compatible with the Amazon devices and so forth. So I used to set up, programs, electronic programs for it to turn on the lights and turn them off, based on, on this, on just the normal programming through the Alexa device. But I discovered the software changed in Casa, and then I couldn't change the program anymore. So I got a little aggravated. I said, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm basically turning the lights on and off at the same time. So why don't I just get a digital timer? Why am I actually, going with a smart plug that the software version is longer compatible with? And I just decided to get something just like you did, Noah. I got a different manufacturer, but it's terrific. Nicely programmed, nicely done.
I'd never seen one before. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had to first pick it up and look at it, and it was like, wait, it's got a clock. Why does it have a clock? And then I'm looking, it's got a set button, and it's got AM and PM and week and hour and minute and second, and you can put it on if you're down here in Texas, we're close to Fort Hood, so like you can put it on 24-hour clock versus 12-hour AM and PM, and so I think I'm going to try using it. I could use it a couple of, I've got lights on the patio, on the back patio. Then, so I just I plugged it in here. I set up the time. They come on at like 8 o'clock because that's kind of, it starts getting dark, and then they shut off at about 11. So it just comes on for 3 hours and turns off. And I don't have to get up, and I don't have to remember to turn the lights off when I come in from being outside. And that's only one spigot. Then I got another spigot on the other side that I was thinking I could maybe put plug one of these in the wall in my bedroom, and I could have like a big old console radio that now just became a clock radio, because if I have the radio plugged into this and it turns on at 6:30 in the morning or something, then the radio will come on.
What'd you do with your Chrysler dashboard? Have to leave the radio on.
That's right.
Plug it all in. It'll come on, lights come on, the radio's on.
That's true. That's right. I could do that. That could be in one of the other sockets. That could be
an alarm clock for old people. Have a big like console radio.
Right. Yeah. Big booming one.
606s wake up in the morning.
Exactly. Exactly. So there were two of them on the table. So I got both of them. I got two of these, and I got that radio for like $12. And so
wow.
It's a pretty market thing. So they're kind of odd, they're kind of weird, but so am I. And
hey, but I am actually subscribing to the, I still believe that smart plugs still are useful, but I'm just like, it's like, okay, when I start thinking about my use case, I start thinking, okay, this smart plug is almost overkill. What you have there does the job, and all I have to do is adjust it a little bit for when it gets the daylight's longer, but I don't really need the light on as early as I do in the winter.
And I don't really know. I mean, I don't know if I really believe this or not, but it says the rating is maximum 15 amps and 1,875 watts.
Well, geez, you could plug a hairdryer into that thing. Huh?
You could plug a coffee maker. You could plug, I don't know, you could plug all kinds of stuff into this. I'm going to probably use one of them to like do the Christmas lights at Christmas time. Outside, so I don't have to think about.
I just can't get over. I see you shaking this thing around. I'm thinking, I can't get over how small that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's even, and when it was sitting on the ground, I mean, look, the clock thing is like, or
So
and it has
tiny.
I don't know,
When I
what
bought my
powers the
house,
clock. I thought it would only work when it was plugged in the wall, but like the clock works when it's not plugged in. And you program the thing, and then you plug it into the wall, and then when the time comes around, this little light comes on, and a little display tells you off to the side whether it's like line 1 or line 2 that's
right
turned on, because you got, and they can have two different programs. They can, two totally different things can be doing things at different days of the week, different hours of the day. I just thought it was, I don't know how much it cost when it was new, but it's well worth $1, as they would say on the Firesign Theater.
Yeah, I spent I spent maybe for a couple, I might have spent like, I don't know, $15-20, but I still thought they were a good deal. And and mine claim they are good for 3 days being off power. So the idea, if you have a power outage, that they will hold the time for 3 days.
I don't know. I got these like a week and a half ago, it's still sitting there cranking away. It's bizarre. It's magic. I don't know what the deal is, but
yeah, I don't know if they would have a battery in there or some sort of like, bleeding cap or something like that. Just,
I don't know. It's like I say, it's FM, as they would say.
That's pretty cool.
M stands for magic,
Yeah. No, I subscribe to this. I think every technology has a place, and sometimes you can overkill it, to the point where it's just not worth it. That's what I've basically discovered,
Yeah, I would not, I wouldn't want to have to go and get an app for my phone to set this thing up, but I'll go through some menus and some button pushes just to get it set up and plug it in and forget it. Maybe the battery or whatever it's in there gets recharged when it's plugged into the wall.
Yeah, it could be.
But boy, it sure does last a long time on a charge. So, I don't know. So anyhow, but I like the radio even more than I like those, because it's a nice looking radio, and it doesn't have any damage to it. And like I said, the back is still on there with all the, I don't even know if the back's ever been off of the thing.
I've never seen one of them before. Ever.
Really?
Never.
No?
It's just so unique.
It's bizarre. It's like, I guess whoever made the radio made them for the Bulova watch company, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure they had somebody making them.
Yeah.
I would think, if anything, well, I know that I want to say it's Toshiba, but it's not Toshiba, but they had a Japanese company making their transistor radio. I forget which one. And it wouldn't surprise me if they had a Japanese company.
It's substantial. It's kind of heavy, even though it's made out of plastic. So there's like a real chassis in there. And like I said, a good sized permanent magnet loudspeaker. And
you got your money's worth.
Oh, and it says important. Radio stations cannot be received with record player connected. So obviously it's got, it's the RF circuit when you put the radio in there. But I mean, nothing seems to be missing anywhere. Made in USA. I mean, there isn't even a place to hook an external wire for an antenna. It certainly doesn't need it, but sometimes it's a place where you can hook up a ground wire and a long wire to it or something. This is
the AA5s by the late 50s, early 60s. That the extra wire sticking out the back that you can clip lead onto a long wire. That's all gone. That went away. So it's just a tuned loop or a ferrite rod. The rarer good radios used a ferrite rod, but most of them were just copper wire loops on the back.
Yeah. Yep. So maybe between now and the next time that we get together again, I will have ventured into the back of the thing, and maybe there's some other kind of manufacturing designation on there somewhere. I can figure out if it's a Magnavox or a Zenith or a Airline or I don't know what. But I almost don't want to, because it just works so well.
I know, he's afraid to touch it. Don't touch it. Yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Leave it alone. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that too.
So that's that.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks, Noah. Well, geez, Tom, do you mind if we bookend you for a few shots from MIT?
Okay, I can do that.
It says
I'm going to do it real quickly, I
Yeah.
think, because I got a lot of pictures and I don't want to bore people, but we'll do it, see if we can get through real fast. This is a sample of the kind of stuff you see
Ah,
when you're at MIT. And some of it is really quite weird. So I'm just stop me as we go by
is that
and I'll
is that a mechanical toaster?
discuss things. Looks like I don't know.
Do you stick that in in your fireplace? I
Yeah,
mean,
it's a toaster, right? You
it's a
just
toaster.
flip the bread over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you have to have something under there with a fire, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in your fireplace.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The brass looks too nice to be throwing it in the fire to
Well,
toast a
it
piece of
could
bread.
be NOS. It might not have
So
ever been used.
oh, you think oh, okay. So that was probably sitting next to the Bulova.
Right.
Yeah,
Figured out
I
this, is
think
that what
so.
happened? Okay.
So
Oh, look at this.
lots and lots of audio guys show up at MIT. I'll just run through, and you never know what you're going to see. Lawyer
Lawyer
up.
up. Lawyer up.
I like that
Right.
license plate. And they had mystery boxes
Mystery box.
for
Man,
$50.
Oh,
Oh, that's
$30 and $10. That's a heck of a mystery box for $50.
be
yeah.
Video adapters, lots of audio gear,
mixers,
all kinds of
keyboards, wah pedals.
yeah.
yeah, wah pedals, right, and keyboards of all kinds.
Test equipment.
Test gear. This was fun. There were a bunch of
Heathkit's never built.
never
That had to
built
go for a
Heath kits.
fortune.
I don't know.
Wow.
Are they still selling for a lot of money?
They
Heath
were the last time I checked.
Heath
Yeah,
Schlumberger.
yeah.
Yes.
Looks like that one has been half submerged.
Yeah, I know. That's not a good sign.
No.
And test equipment in every trunk. This is a cute little
Hmm.
Heathkit model,
Early
what,
Heathkit.
EK2. So it was a receiver kit that a lot of people built in the early days of Heathkit. This is a 3,200 volt, 300 mil power supply for 350 bucks. If you're building a kilowatt rig for a ham transmitter, that would be a nice power supply for
That
it.
looks like a nightmare to move.
Yeah, right. Looks like a cabinet. Maybe
Yeah.
there's something inside.
It
Maybe
looks
there
like there's
isn't.
a CRT behind that blue piece of
It,
paper.
it
Yeah.
could be. It could
Like a
be.
round CRT in a
Yeah.
rectangular hole.
And that was back in the days where you made sky by putting a blue screen in front of your black and white
Looks like
TV
maybe an
screen.
RCA,
Yeah.
judging from the way it's made.
Didn't they have some wonderful plastic overlays where the upper
Yes.
part was blue and the lower part was reddish? And
Yep.
so it was a half-ass color TV. Lots of early computers. There's
Wow.
a
Wow, that's
Radio
cool.
Shack,
Oh
and
yeah,
this is
TRS-80.
a 3D printer. 3D printers are really cheap there. You could get this one for $100 and
Wow.
play with 3D printing. I don't know enough about them to know a good one from a bad one, but there's certainly a lot of them on various tables. If you want to go scuba diving, here's an entire scuba outfit, complete and ready to go. Lots and lots of hard drives.
Oh
Usually
yeah.
the drives, they just pull the drives out of computers and sell them at really low prices. What are they? $10 for and $15 for the ones on the left. Lots of monitors, just unbelievable number of monitors. You could buy good monitors for $10. These are some kind of linear stage, I guess maybe related to 3D printing or something. They have
Hmm.
linear action. And these are 3D printed human heads, human
Wow.
skulls. And you don't know, you use a 3D printer, they really take a long time to print something. So those skulls probably took 6 hours to build up with a 3D printer.
I
And they were
bet.
selling.
Yeah, but an original one of them would have taken about 80 years.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Lots of tools, good little tools, and lots of handy talkies and more computers and more computers, more computers, all
Good
sorts of
size.
old
Yeah.
computers. And this is the guy that comes to
Oh yeah.
Brookline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recognize the
Wonderful
bit.
guy, lots and lots of good parts. And he sets up at the MIT show and does very well there, I think. And here's some
Ooh.
Tivoli music
Ooh.
system. What do we know
Tivoli.
All of
about
it for
Tivoli?
$50.
Wow. All of 50.
Wow.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
steal.
Is that good or bad?
That's a pretty good deal. Well, I
That's
mean,
great because that's all your
oh,
Christmas shopping is
well,
done. You buy those and you give one to each of your friends.
well, the thing is,
Or
what,
maybe give it to your enemies.
Yeah.
well, the first sentence says it all. None work as is. So it means you kind of have to Frankenstein the stuff together to get something to go, probably.
Is there, I don't even know. I've never had one. I mean, like what's the program source? Is it something bizarre out of the sky? Is it like it's not just AM FM, right? It's some weird digital satellite thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's AM FM. I think that like the black one on top looks like it's got a CD player on it.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
AM
okay.
FM stereo.
Oh, okay. I thought it was some magic stuff.
Some are 220 and some are 110. A bunch
Well,
more
it looks like
audio gear.
yeah, yeah.
One of
It
these
looks like
antique,
Dynaco stuff.
It was
antique.
Dynaco.
Yeah, I think so, right.
That's the tuner and then the preamp.
Yeah.
Yep.
Typewriter,
Oh, that's
electronic,
interesting.
cute. Everything is making offer, nothing less than a dollar.
Right.
Don't want to make change.
That's it. More stuff,
Ooh, a robot.
stuff. And then there's this guy who
No.
brings Enigma machines every time, and there's his back of his car all lighted up full of Enigma machines.
And also his
And
bedroom.
on the left is one that came out of a lake, and on the right is a replica, and the one in the middle is the real thing. The replica is $1,800. The real thing is $330,000. Oh well, dream on. And lots and lots. Oh, unbelievable numbers of laptops. If you want a laptop, that is the place to go for them. So that's just a quick run through
Cool.
as you go through.
Oh, that's fine. I gotta get myself out there, over there because
Yeah.
because I would love to just kick around.
Well, Alan Finger was over there looking for watches. He didn't find any. I didn't see him taking anything home. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him whether he found anything at all.
Yeah, because I'm sure you can find an oddball here or there, KLH or something like that. Being you're right in the epicenter of Cambridge, you have to be something like
Yeah.
that.
Well, the trick is to get in before the public, and if you're looking for things that are desirable, you don't want to come in
Right.
at 9 o'clock. You want to come in with the sellers. I
Yeah.
will sneak you in if you want.
Well, we'll have to sync up with the next time you're going in for the next show.
Yeah.
And because I can usually talk my wife into going to Cambridge anyway, even if she doesn't join me. She'll go visit her friends in Cambridge, and
That's it, right?
and hop on the T or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, that's terrific, Tom. I thoroughly enjoyed that. That's just fun to see the cool stuff you see.
Yeah, it's just a total mix. You have no idea. One guy brought a space capsule, a whole space capsule, one of the ones that actually landed in the ocean, with astronauts inside it. He had it outside. No, he had it inside on a trailer. He wanted $60,000 for it. Can you imagine somebody taking a space capsule?
How did he get a space guy? I didn't think NASA gave that stuff away.
Well,
Hey, you could buy 5 of those for less than the cost of one Enigma.
Yeah, that's right. But Enigmas are easier to store.
Yeah, there you go.
That is true. That's pretty cool. A space capsule.
It's a very weird show. There
Was it
isn't much
Gemini?
like
Was it a Gemini or was it a
Mercury or
Mercury?
I have a picture of it
It was
if
the
you're really
Friendship
interested.
7,
Yeah, it had well heated and a little overheated heat spots all over it.
Oh yeah, you got to have the right. It's got the custom flaming. I
think the guy would have thrown in the trailer for the price too.
Probably.
Yeah, Well, I guess you could climb in and pretend, throw your suit up and climb in.
Yeah.
You bring it home for the kids. Hey, kids, look at this.
I had a toy steam engine there one time, and I had a price of I didn't have a price on it, and a guy came up to me and said, "I'll give you $300 for it." I was thinking 50. Okay, I'll take it. And I'm sort of laughing quietly, and this guy's carrying it away. It looked like he had a coat and tie on, and somebody came up to me and said, "Did you know that that was Professor Johnson?" And I said, "Professor Johnson, what?" He says, "He's an MIT professor, and he is doing fission research." And yeah, and I said, "Yeah, the guy told me that he wanted the steam engine to test his fission research." And I was laughing to my head. I figured, the guy is just totally nuts. But the guy who was talking to me said he's probably the only person in the world who's liable to be able to pull off nuclear fission. So
And,
you never know who you're going to meet there. And one
and
guy bought an Enigma machine from me, and just a professor came up and bought it outright. And he said, "Oh, by the way, I have a first edition Darwin book that you might enjoy seeing also." So he obviously collects high-end stuff.
wow. Cool. Wow. Yeah, now we'll keep in touch for the next I guess I think it's one in June. Is there not in
I'm not
June?
going to be in
Oh,
around
right,
in
you'll be
June. I've got
right.
the Friedrichshafen
Hopping.
meet.
That's
Yeah.
more important.
Yes, it is.
And we'll be counting on photos for that too,
Yeah.
But
You
maybe July.
usually can find two enigmas in Friedrichshafen, and that makes the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Occasionally you find a case too.
Yeah.
But well, that's terrific, Tom. Really enjoyed that. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay.
You read, reminds me I gotta go there. But yeah, well, so I think that's about it. I mean, I personally, just on my side, don't have a lot to talk about other than getting my shop set up here. So, at least my office, my radios, I want my office are now up online, connected, and actually operating. So that's a good thing. That's like a step. Now I have the rest of them in the adjacent room that I need to get going, and but I have to erect shelves and so forth. So until they do that, they're all sitting on the floor waiting to be reconnected and resume their normal use. I did though. I did set up one Telefunken radio. I have a Concerto 8U from 1958, and it's a four-speaker system. And I have funny a Grundig Klangstrahler LS2B speaker connected. And the reason I have the Grundig is, and I'll have to show a photo, but I won't do it tonight, is that not only is the cabinet color the same as my Telefunken, but the grill cloth, they had to use the same manufacturer when they made those between Telefunken, because I have the original grill cloth as well as that. So it looked like a match set, even though they're competing companies. But I fired it up, and because I don't have a lot of sound deadening, that radio always sounded good, but it sounded really good. It's and no one can appreciate that. This is not a stereo system; it's pre-stereo. But boy, they do a great job to make you think it's pretty awfully close to stereo.
Yeah. They had a way of doing that was wonderful,
they
amazing.
just play some magic in there that you say, "Wow."
Something very bizarre. It's got to do with the crossovers or the transformers. There's got to be cross coupling and just delays or something. It's psychoacoustics, which
but that's why I made them
something about. But
yeah,
it's just amazing.
It also made it maddeningly to work on, though. It's maddening because if they add
So
all that
what about
it's only maddening if you try to figure it out. If you just figure out what component had the smoke come out of it and put the right component back in and just enjoy it when it comes back to life, then it's fine. But don't try to figure out the theory or you'll just pull your hair out.
Yeah.
So how much space do you have, John, in the new place versus the old? Are you similar, or are you compressing or expanding?
He's sworn to secrecy.
It went to expanding, and not by intent. But our real goal was, okay, we wanted to go to the one floor living, at least the main things, all the main systems. Of course, it does some upstairs and downstairs. And upstairs has a couple of rooms. That one is my wife's office, and then downstairs, I had the whole basement is finished. So I got my office, which is it's only a little bit bigger, not by much, about the same. Actually, I strike that. It's a little smaller than my last office in the last place, but I have an adjacent room, which is probably about the same size, a little bit bigger, and that's where my toys are. So, and that's where it makes it, a little nicer, so I can expand, have my die cast, so all separated, and I kind of shelving and start really enjoying this because everything was I was feeling a bit crowded not heavily crowded, but a little tight. I was like, and my wife used to lecture me, "Boy, you have so much stuff in there." I said, I know. And I got rid of some stuff. I did get rid of some stuff, to free it up. But I said, geez, it used to be a lot freer until I got into this hobby. There's no coming out. There's no looking back. So,
but John, it could be an excuse for buying one of those really neat electric stair climber thingies. You sit in a chair. You don't need really to
yeah.
be on one floor. You can have a real high-tech thing lift you up.
Yeah, that's true, But yeah, I have to admit, I mean, we didn't go in with any plan of going bigger. It just happens to be it's bigger because the basement's finished. Even though the two floors are still combined a little bit bigger than the last place, but you had the third floor, the downstairs finished. You're like, well, okay, now I have all the extra space, but it's kind of nice. But I'm trying to make sure it's not licensed to go crazy here. I have to be very careful lest the waffle iron swing. Uh, but it gives me a little more space, and I get to really enjoy my piece instead of trying to even just the wires alone, try to I gotta try to get in here. Oh yeah, there it is. Connects it all up, and now it's a little easier. So it's all good. So yeah, so I'm just sort of still coming online. I hope by the next um, open forum meeting, I guess in June, I should be probably mostly done because I think I've got my shelves. I should be able to unpack a lot of my books and get my radios up and get that all mostly done. I think I'm hopeful. So yes,
Did it come with any bookcases, or do you have to build them or buy them?
yeah, I bought. I looked around. I settled on something from Amazon to try. I don't know how successful it's be, but good reviews, very highly rated. So I'm going to give it a shot because I like the color, I like the construction, and it should give me enough flexibility to throw up, like for example, a perfect carrier for my KLH Model 8 and 13 connected together, and I have a bunch of car books, and those books are those big heavy ones, they're really some nicely done books on racing and vintage racing and things like that. So I think each shelf could hold about 70 pounds. So that's good news for me. So yeah, so I just have a bunch of things to make it look nice. And of course I have my Star Trek tree up and going, again, so it's all that good stuff will get myself back online. But yeah, that's really until I get that done, I really have, plus, hey, I've got to get prepared for Spring Brookline. So, that's right around the corner. So that'll be a good, in fact, next week, not this weekend, the following one is going to be completely booked because I've got, Spring Brookline. I got to prepare the day before, get the electronics up and charged. And then I got a graduation to go to and then something else on Monday. So it's pretty much all booked. But, anyway, that's what's going on here, but it's all good. But so I guess what I'll do is I'll let you guys go. It was a terrific meeting, a lot of fun, some good discussions, and looking forward to seeing whoever can make it. Although I see a lot of faces here that won't be there. Geez, I'm actually looking. I don't think anybody who's still on the call is going to be at Spring Brookline. So, but. But I guess then I'll see you at the meeting that will follow right afterwards, and we'll be able to talk about Kutztown and so forth. But anyway, guys, you guys have a great 2 weeks, and take care of yourselves. And looking forward to talking to you and seeing you guys soon.
Thank you, John. Have a
All
good
right,
time.
thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
All right, bye now.